When I turned 30, I began to bear a striking resemblance to Chuck Norris. This is now something you cannot unsee. And for years, I hated the comparison and I resisted any sort of embracement of it. Until one night, that all changed because I made some incredibly stupid choices. So there was this one time in 2004, I was in Vienna, Austria with some friends. And my friends and I thought this experience would be grander, better, more magnificent if, we had weed. And through pure coincidence, it worked out that the park behind the restaurant was a known place to sell drugs. My friend and I went down there, and within a couple minutes, we had procured a modest amount that made the next day's visit to the Museum of the Hofburg Palace an absolute delight. Feeling very cocky about this previous experience I had, I got to the restaurant early and decided that I'm going to go and get more for everybody. So I went back to the park, not telling anyone where I was going, and when I get there, I don't see the guy from the other night, but I see another guy, and this guy looks like Cuba Gooding Jr. And I said, marijuana? And he said, not here, too dangerous, follow me. Now, I'm not proud of this next decision that I made, but going on the old adage, when in Vienna, blindly trust their drug dealers, I left the park and followed this guy to an as yet determined second location. At that point, from across the street, another guy approaches behind me and to the left, and it is obvious these two are partners. This guy looks like a young Steve Buscemi. Cuba stops, turns, and walks towards me with purpose. And then Steve does the exact same thing, and both these guys are standing inches apart from me. And I am so scared, and I feel like I'm in so much danger right now, but I didn't know what level of danger I was at. Is this get beat up, steal your cash and passport kind of danger? Or is this get beat up, taken hostage, rich European buys me and hunts me for sport kind of danger? And then Cuba said something I did not expect. You look like Chuck Norris. And Steve goes, yeah, Chuck Norris. And he snaps his fingers like he'd been trying to place it this entire time. And I go, yeah, Chuck Norris. And then these guys started laughing. And if they had intended me any sort of harm, this was no longer the case because now the mood is totally shifted. At the end of our transaction, as I'm about to walk away and get out of their view, Cuba yells, hey, Chuck, do a kick. Now, I knew these two Austrian drug dealers were mocking me. However, this time, I didn't care. And I just embraced it. And without thinking, I turned to them and gave them the worst representation of a roundhouse kick. They burst into laughter. I gave a tip of a pantomimed hat, and then I swaggered out of the sight. The second I got out of sight, I dropped the swagger and I started to run back to the restaurant. And I will say this, there are things we may not like about ourselves, but if you choose to accept and embrace that, it can make your life so much better. Because I will say to you right now, I love the fact I look like Chuck Norris.